Welcome to EduSmart. Today is July 27, 2026, and here are your top stories in finance and AI education. Mississippi becomes the 27th U.S. state to mandate financial literacy in schools. Illinois releases a landmark 409-page AI guidance document for schools, written with help from AI itself. And MIT researchers introduce neural transparency, a tool that lets you see inside an AI's brain before you ever speak to it. Let's dive in. Our first story. Mississippi has officially passed legislation requiring financial literacy education across its public schools. Under the new law, schools must incorporate personal finance concepts into the curriculum for grades 6 through 8, starting in the 2027 to 2028 school year. Topics will include income, budgeting, financial services, consumer rights, and post-secondary education financing. Beginning with the graduating class of 2032, every high school student will need to pass either a half-credit personal finance course or a full credit course where at least half the content covers financial literacy to earn their diploma. Mississippi now joins 26 other U.S. states that have made personal finance a graduation requirement. Senator Nicole Boyd, who championed the bill, said that people who can make smart financial decisions are better employees and better members of the workforce. The goal is to upskill the entire population in everyday financial decision-making. A Federal Reserve study backs this up. It found that young adults exposed to state-mandated financial education had higher credit scores and lower delinquency rates than students in states without those requirements. But Dr. Becky Smith, an economist at Mississippi State University, cautioned that financial literacy is not the same as financial capability. Capability includes access to resources, skills, and behaviors, not just knowledge. The success of the program will depend heavily on teacher training and practical, real-world delivery. Now, let's connect this to a concept every student should understand. The Rule of 72. This simple formula tells you how long it takes for an investment to double in value. Just divide 72 by your annual rate of return. For example, if your investment earns 7% per year, you divide 72 by 7, which gives you roughly 10.3 years for your money to double. If you invest £1,000 at age 20 and earn 7% annually, by age 50 that money has doubled nearly 3 times, growing to around £7,600. But if you wait until age 30 to start, you lose an entire doubling cycle. That same £1,000 only grows to about £3,800 by age 50. Starting just 10 years earlier nearly doubles your final result. This is the power of compound interest, and it is exactly why Mississippi's new financial literacy mandate matters. The earlier students learn these concepts, the earlier they can put them into action. Our second story. The Illinois State Board of Education has released a landmark 409-page guidance document on the use of artificial intelligence in K-12 education. What makes this document remarkable is its own transparency. The guidance openly discloses that initial drafts were written with the help of AI tools, primarily ChatGPT, but also Claude and Gemini. The authors used AI to polish text, generate graphic figures, and check for missing content. But crucially, all AI-generated information was independently vetted by human experts. Bill Cuttin, Illinois Policy Director for the advocacy group Teach Plus, called this disclosure a model for how AI should be used in academic settings. He said that being upfront about where and how AI was used actually builds trust. The guidance was developed after the Illinois General Assembly passed legislation in 2025 requiring the state to create AI guidelines for schools. A 2024 survey of Illinois educators found that many described the current state of AI in classrooms as, quote, a bit like the Wild West, end quote. Students were using AI tools regularly with no framework in place. The new guidance does not impose mandates, but offers practical advice. For example, it suggests teachers ask questions like, what is the learning problem I am solving, and is AI the right tool for that problem? And, if AI were unavailable tomorrow, what would I do instead, and is that actually better for the learning goal? State Superintendent Tony Sanders emphasized that teaching and learning are shaped by human relationships, and that AI is only a tool to inform instruction, not a substitute for human interaction. Our third story. Researchers at the MIT Media Lab have introduced a concept called neural transparency. In a paper presented at the 2026 ACM Conference on Intelligent User Interfaces, Professor Pat Patranutaporn and graduate researchers Shir Koni and Anthony Baez unveiled a tool that lets users see how a chatbot may respond before they ever start a conversation with it. Here is why this matters. Millions of people are now creating personalized AI chatbots and agents using simple text prompts. But most people have very little idea how those prompts will shape the AI's behavior until they actually start interacting with it. The MIT team wanted to change that. Their tool works by constructing what they call behavior directions inside the model's neural network. For traits like empathy, honesty, sycophancy, or hallucination tendency, the system compares the AI's internal activations when a trait is triggered versus when it is suppressed. That difference becomes a directional probe. When a user feeds in their custom system prompt, the tool projects the model's activations onto each probe direction, producing a score for each trait. These scores are displayed as a visual dashboard before any conversation begins. The team found that users consistently mispredicted chatbot personality on 11 out of 15 measured traits. Sycophancy, the tendency of AI to agree with you rather than challenge you, was systematically underestimated. This matters because sycophancy compounds over extended interactions, potentially reinforcing bias rather than correcting it. Professor Patranutaporn said the goal was to move from reactive correction to anticipatory design. Instead of discovering problems after the chatbot has already behaved in unintended ways, users can identify potential risks while they are still shaping the AI. That is your EduSmart update for today. Mississippi joins 26 other states in mandating financial literacy, with the Rule of 72 showing why starting early matters. Illinois releases a 409-page AI guidance for schools, transparently written with AI assistance. And MIT introduces neural transparency, letting users peek inside an AI's neural network before deployment. Subscribe for daily finance and AI educational content. New video every day. See you tomorrow.